Hey everybody, it is time for Darrell's monthly maintenance minute. Last month I talked about heat pumps, so I just want to continue that theme about cold weather. We're about out of it, thank goodness. We just suffered our recent ice storm. During the winter, you definitely, now most of this is common sense stuff, but if you've never owned a home, even if you live in an apartment, maybe you didn't do this. Whenever the temperature gets down into the 20s, at least for me, during snowpocalypse, I did not drip my faucets. And I woke up to no hot water. So I called my handyman and asked him what I needed to do. So I had to get up, turned off my hot water heater, mine is gas. So I got up there, had a hair dryer. Fortunately, we still had power. Got up there. I actually did a Facebook Live video about it, and I just kept the hair dryer blowing until I could feel where the connector bolt or the nut on the connector that goes into the hot water heater get warm. That told me that the ice had melted and the flow of hot water was back. When I did that, I went and started the hot water heater back up. It's kind of a hassle if you've never done it. It's not too difficult. You just want to follow the directions. Sometimes you can have air buildup in those after they've been off for a little while. So that's something to keep in mind. But another thing you want to make sure of is make sure that you have all your outside faucets covered. Go to Home Depot or Lowe's, cover those up. You want to do this even if you're renting a property and it's not yours, because as a tenant, the landlord could hold you responsible for damage, so keep that in mind. Other things you may want to do is make sure all your hot water lines in the attic are at least insulated if possible. They sell this little black cover insulation that you buy at Home Depot. I have it on my pipes up in the attic on the hot water heater. And a lot of modern homes have PEX plumbing. If it's the first generation, you may have some issues. You definitely want to talk to a plumber about that. The second generation apparently is less subject to some of the problems with frozen water. Because with PEX plumbing, the pipes go up in your walls, up through the attic, instead of the foundation, which is great if you have a plumbing issue, but also bad if you have a plumbing issue, because if they leak, well, it's leaking in your walls. But if it leaks in your slab with traditional copper plumbing, then you have no issue there. Another thing, if you're going to be gone, do not ever have your heater less than about 55 degrees. And if you're going to be gone long-term during winter months, you may want to consider flushing out your whole house. And in some homes like mine, there's a valve out in the flower bed where you can actually flush all the water out in the pipes, because just turning faucets on will not completely eliminate all the water that's in your system, and you can have frozen pipes. Homes that are foreclosed on, they actually go in and winterize. That's part of the process, and they also pour antifreeze in there. You don't want to do that because that's expensive, and if you're not a plumber, don't know how to get that out of your system, you might be drinking some glycol, which isn't very healthy for you. Another thing is sprinkler systems. Now, I'm bad about this. I at least go out and turn the water off. I forget to flush out the sprinkler system by turning on each zone and emptying it. But that's something you want to consider doing with the sprinkler system. At least shut the water off. If you're not going to empty it, fortunately, we rarely get that cold here, and those pipes are down further in the ground. Now, during the snowpocalypse, that might have been an issue, but I had mine turned off. I didn't flush it. So I hope those are helpful hints for you. Oh, also, the other thing is open your cabinet doors under all your sinks, especially if it's on an exposed exterior wall, like my bathroom's on a corner where we get the northwest. Well, it's on the north side of the house. So I definitely keep the doors open under the sink, even when it's in the 30s. I don't drip it, but when it gets in the 20s, low 20s, high teens, I definitely do. And bathtubs, anything that has a wall that is exposed to the outside. You definitely want to drip those in the cold water. Hope that's helpful. I try and make these short. I'm going to be attending a couple classes here, so I'm going to talk about septic tanks and moreover HVAC systems, sorry. Sometimes I stumble on my words, but I never re-record. Hope you're having a great week. Look for me again next month for Darrell's monthly minute for maintenance. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Okay.